Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Rural Report. I am your Rural 2IC, and you know what? Let's just jump right into this whatever controversial thing. Now, I get it, and just about every topic you can come up with, whether it is something like politics or anything, all the way down to pizza toppings. People are going to argue, and it's going to become controversial and whatever. Okay, let me give my 2 cents on some things I've been getting as feedback and some things I've been seeing on some prepping channels and different other things. What is priority? The biggest one that I see is, well, you don't need a firearm because once you fire it, everybody's going to know where you're at. And, you only have so many rounds and blah, 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 blah. Okay. And then you have the people that come back and they're like, well, you have to have, firearms because what good is food and water and all this other stuff if you can't protect it? Okay. How about we do this? When it comes to survival, it is two things. First, it is balance. Everything is interconnected. You can have a whole bunch of food and no water, and it doesn't matter. You can have a whole bunch of medical and no way to protect it, and it doesn't matter. And it goes hand in hand not only with what you can hold physically, but the skill and knowledge to utilize it. I can give somebody a whole bunch of ingredients, and if they don't know how to properly put them together to make said food, do they have anything? If I give somebody a firearm and they don't know how to operate it, what good is it? So, not only is it having the things in your hand, but to be able to effectively and successfully over and over be able to utilize what you have, then all of it is pointless. If you do not know how to replenish, I have a ton of water, great, what happens when it's gone? You know where to go find it, what to do with it once you find it, the different ways to filter, the different ways to make sure it's safe, the different ways, to boil it. Okay, well, I collected the water and I know that I need to filter it and boil it. Great. Um, the only problem with I'm going to go over to the stream, I'm going to gather some uh, charcoal and some sand and some fine rock and put it in a sock and filter and all this other stuff. And I'm going to put it over here and put some bleach in it and boil it and this and that and everything else. Do you even know how to make your own filter? Now, I'm not saying anything that if you don't know that I'm bashing you. Be honest with yourself. And if you don't, here's a perfect opportunity to learn. You have the time right now while you're watching this video when I just said that, you went, I don't know how to do that. Write that down. There's your homework. Go learn. All right. Well, I'm going to boil it. Great. What do you want to use to boil it with? Do you have something? Is it with you all the time? When you take and you put on your basketball shorts and your flip flops because you're just running 5 minutes away to the gas station to pick up a candy bar, and something happens, some huge chaotic. Because remember, that'll never happen to me. That'll never happen here. Okay, so in that amount of time, something goes completely haywire and you're on foot. Are you properly dressed? Do you have that container to boil water? Do you know how to make fire with what you have on you right now? No? This all comes down to strategy. So, balance. You have to have not only a balance of everything, you need food, you need water, you need medical, you need self defense, you need to cover the gambit of what it takes to survive. A whole bunch of this and a little bit of this does you no good, especially if you are not skilled enough to have the knowledge to know how to utilize. If you have 20 tons of freeze-dried food and no water to rehydrate it, what good is it to you? Okay, hopefully that hits home to somebody. Now, number 2 to all of this is my advice. Now remember, this channel is for the new prepper, okay? My advice when it comes to survival is ask yourself one question. What is going to take me out first? And go from there. Because that's going to initially set off what it is of your first task to do. And it's going to be different in every situation. There is not a one size fit all to everything. There's not a one size fit all medical. There's not a one size fit all bug out bag or anything. It all goes on the situation. It doesn't matter. And I know you'll get the medical thing. I'll get this a lot because whenever I say this, that's usually my pushback is, well, my medical will cover everything. No, it doesn't. I'm sorry. Okay. Will it cover most? There's some really, really great ones. Refuge Medical puts out an amazing kit, but they put out different kits. They put out a surgical kit and an IFAK and a Stomp, and they put out different kits because it goes on the situation. So, figure it out. If it is 10 degrees below zero, my first thing I'm going to do is not, where's water? It is, get out of the cold, get warm. That's going to be the first thing that takes me out. I don't care about water right now. I will completely move a lot of that stuff off to the side because my first thing is the cold's going to take me out first. Now, if I'm on some tropical island where it's 80 degrees out, then I'm not worried about shelter at the moment. I'm worried about fresh water. If I am downtown and I just got out of a concert, let's say, and something breaks out, I am not worried about food and water at that moment. I'm worried about my safety. So, everything comes into play when it comes to survival. It is about balance. What do you have? Do you know how to use what you have? Do you know how to replenish what it is that you use that you hopefully know how to use? Do you know how to get more of it? Now, I know I put a lot of information out there. Feel free to take notes, okay? This is my own personal advice. Take it for what it is, okay? If it doesn't speak to you and you think I'm completely wrong, that's fine. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the one that as they listen to this, they go, hey, this is great information. I need to jot this down. This really has me thinking. I have some holes I need to fill. There's some skills I need to go out and study. There's different things in this whole video about, I have a little bit of rope, but if I have to cut up my rope, how do I get more rope? How do I get more cordage? What do I use? There's always more to learn. I am by no means the master of this, okay? There's plenty of other people out there that know 10, 100 times more than I do. All I'm trying to do is do my part. So, if this spoke to you, great. If it didn't, sorry, move on, okay? Now, more information to come. Remember to remain united because we're all prepping in this together.